Jordan Hawkins was a 4-star shooting guard recruit when he committed to UConn in August of 2020. He went on to play a modest amount his freshman season, appearing in 27 games, starting 4, and averaging about 15 minutes per game. In his sophomore year, Hawkins took a big leap forward from a production standpoint and also from a draft stock perspective. He averaged 16 points per game on the season and helped lead UConn to an NCAA tournament championship, earning all Big East and all NCAA tournament honors along the way. Hawkins has shown his sophomore year that he can shoulder a larger scoring load and also provide high-level shooting from all over the floor. His season at UConn has vaulted Hawkins up draft boards, and he is now being looked at as a guy that will be drafted in the late teens or early 20s of the 2023 NBA draft. The first strength for Hawkins is shooting. Hawkins may not be the best pure shooter in the draft, but he's a very dynamic one and is never lacking confidence. On the season, Hawkins shot just a touch under 39% from beyond the arc on a whopping 7.6 attempts per game, and these weren't just wide open attempts from a standstill. Analysts always like to talk about how Steph Curry impacts the game not only because of his prolific accuracy, but also because of how he gets those shots. Turn on a Warriors game and you're bound to see Steph sprinting around a bunch of screens before suddenly stopping and firing up a shot in the blink of an eye. Hawkins isn't Steph, but he does have some of this in his game. Hawkins always seems to be running around screens and relocating on the offensive end, and his shot is quick enough that he can curl around a screen and knock down a shot with just a sliver of daylight. If Hawkins can continue to be a really efficient three-point shooter in the NBA with the ability to shoot on the move that he's shown, he could be a really nice piece for an NBA offense. Another strength for Hawkins is explosiveness. Hawkins loves to shoot, but if he comes around a screen and sees a lane to the basket, he can get on top of the rim in a hurry. He has a very quick first step and explodes off the floor when he's going up. Defenders have to be careful closing out too hard on him, because if he attacks the closeout and the help defense isn't ready, he's going to be at the basket. This explosiveness also helps him out on the defensive end. He's not an elite defender, but with his quickness he can move around and make things tough on the perimeter. He's also able to pick up the occasional weak side or chase down block. Hawkins isn't going to be the top athlete in this class, but with his quickness and explosiveness, he should fit right in the NBA. One weakness for Hawkins is passing. I don't think Hawkins is a selfish player, but he doesn't seem to have great instincts or abilities as a playmaker. He doesn't process very quickly as a playmaker, and as a result is just a beat late with his passes. This results in turnovers or not putting his teammates in good positions to score. Additionally, he just doesn't have great touch on his passes. He struggles to execute pocket passes when he sees a double in the pick and roll, and he doesn't always throw passes accurately when he drives and kicks. All in all, Hawkins isn't a strong playmaker right now. He'll definitely be staying at shooting guard early in his career. Another weakness for Hawkins is his handle. As I mentioned earlier, Hawkins has a quick first step and when he has room can throw down some thunderous dunks. But despite these tools, he's pretty underwhelming getting to and scoring at the basket. For some perspective, on the season he took 164 two-point attempts versus 281 three-point attempts. This is likely partially because he knows where his bread is buttered, but it's also because he doesn't have the handle to break guys down off the dribble. He has a tendency to get a bit high with his dribble and doesn't have many moves with the ball in his hands. There's a good chance this also plays into why they run him through so many screens. He doesn't have the handle to create space for himself. Unless Hawkins improves as a ball handler in the NBA, he'll likely be pretty much limited to being a perimeter shooter. This first clip displays Hawkins' dynamic shooting ability. The play begins with Hawkins on the left side of the floor. He then cuts through the middle of the defense with his defender trailing him. He gets a little screen from a teammate as he gets out to the perimeter on the right side of the floor, forces the switch, and sees just enough space to fire up and make a three. If Hawkins can provide this type of dynamic sharpshooting in the NBA, he'll be a nice addition to an offense. This next clip shows us some of Hawkins' explosiveness. The play begins with Hawkins getting the handoff coming to his right on the perimeter. He gets a good screen from a teammate, and as he curls around, he sees a lane to the basket. He hits the next gear and explodes into the lane for the one-handed throwdown. Hawkins doesn't have the handle right now to leverage his athleticism, but if he's able to improve that, we could see more plays like this in his future. This final clip provides a look at how Hawkins can struggle with passing. The play starts with Hawkins getting a screen from a teammate at the top of the arc. As he comes around the screen, he sees two defenders and correctly tries to feed the roll man coming down the lane. but he fires it into his teammates' feet and it results in a turnover. Hawkins can provide spacing and scoring for you on the offensive end, but right now he isn't going to provide much in the playmaking department. Jordan Hawkins might end up being the first college player to get drafted this year that wasn't a one and done. In a league that is increasingly perimeter-oriented, Hawkins looks like an ideal fit. There is some concern that Hawkins might come down to earth a bit efficiency-wise from beyond the arc. He did only shoot 33% from 3 his freshman year. But with the volume of three-pointers he took, I find it difficult to see him suddenly forgetting how to shoot threes. But beyond being a 3-and-D guy, I don't see a ton of star upside for Hawkins. He just doesn't have the handle or playmaking chops to be more than a role guy. I still think he could carve out a really nice NBA career with the skills he possesses, but unless he adds more to his game, I don't see it going beyond that. My NBA comp for Jordan Hawkins is Gary Trent Jr. Trent Jr. was drafted 37th overall in 2018 and started his career with the Trailblazers. After playing modest minutes his first 2 seasons, he became a regular rotation guy in his 3rd season thanks to his ability to take and make a lot of threes. He's now an important piece of the Toronto Raptors rotation and averaged 17 points per game last season. Hawkins possesses a lot of similarities in his game to Trent Jr. It's definitely possible he follows a similar career arc.